My name is Cascade Pierre. I work in the aerospace industry for a company called Northrop Grumman. I've actually been with Northrop Grumman ever since I graduated from University of Arizona. I started as an intern there the summer before I graduated and liked it so much. They offered me a full-time position and I jumped at the opportunity, and I've really just grown with the company. I worked in the department that I started in for about 3 years. During that time, I started my master's program in supply chain management, with which the company actually sponsored me for, which was awesome. And while I was doing my master's, I felt like I could take on another challenge. And so I moved over to the subcontracts organization from material requirements planning. And I've been with subcontracts since then. It's been about 11 years total with Northrop Grumman. It's just been a really great experience. When I was in school, I didn't even know that the aerospace industry was out there. It never really crossed my mind. I met somebody who was a director at Northrop Grumman through one of my Eller classmates. He kind of, asked what I was studying. I was majoring in accounting and operations management. And he's like, "Oh, I work in supply chain. You should come intern for my company." And I always wanted to live in California, which is where this location was. And so I did some research. It looks really cool and said, okay, and, have been with the company ever since. In terms of the kinds of people that work in the aerospace industry, such a huge industry that you really can find your niche anywhere. I'm in the global supply chain organization, and so I'm kind of like a liaison between Northrop Grumman and our external buyers and customers, like the government, for the program that I work on. I do a lot of interfacing with suppliers and then also internal interfacing. So I work with a lot of engineers, quality folks, business management. It's very dynamic. You really have to be able to build relationships and communicate well with people. And that's what I've found to be the most exciting part of the job. It's just the people that I've gotten to know, the friendships that I've made. If it's something that you're interested in, you can find a organization or department that would fit your skill set. So it really directly relates to the work that I do. Like I said, I started as an accounting and operations management major, and so understanding the numbers side as well as how operations work is key. I work with a supplier and I have to manage their scheduled deliveries. We also have to manage their funding and be able to forecast that. The actual hard skills that you learn in your program at Eller, for example, where I went, directly relates to what I do in my job. And then also the soft skills. So I really think that building your network is essential, and learning how to do that when you're in school, networking with your classmates, with your professors, is great practice for when you're in the real world and you're networking, not only within the company, but with, external companies that you might come into contact with, and figuring out how that might play into your next career step. So it's a really exciting field, as I'm sure you can imagine, especially with the way that technology is going right now. We just have so many advances that are being made that are really cool. So one of the projects that my company works on is called the James Webb Space Telescope, and it's basically going to look back into the past to help us find our future. And so that's really cool, the space exploration that we're doing, but then also here on Earth, the programs that we have that protect our warfighter and protect our homeland security. So in order to stay relevant in this field, there are all kinds of certifications that you can have. To get into the aerospace industry, I would recommend taking advantage of career fairs that are held on campus at University of Arizona, and then also researching the different companies that there are and trying to figure out, which of those companies align with your career goals. And a lot of them have great internship opportunities. So Northrop Grumman, for example, has an amazing internship program that I would highly recommend as a former intern. So just seeing what kind of options are out there and opportunities, and using your network to get your foot in the door and just proactive and try things out and see what you like. So I look fondly upon my time at University of Arizona. I started as a freshman. I was a cheerleader, and my sophomore year, like I mentioned earlier, I was one of the Wildcats. And as I decided to apply to the Eller College, I went into the AK Psi business fraternity. And that was really instrumental in helping me just kind of hone my networking skills. I met a lot of great people that way. That's actually how I met my friend who introduced me to the person who worked for Northrop Grumman. You know, and then just all of the fun things that University of Arizona has to offer. There's so many different clubs and organizations and beautiful places to go. So I would recommend, you know, in addition to focusing on your professional career that's ahead of you, is to also just enjoy the time that you have and have fun.